So I packed my bags, left everything I knew in South Africa, packed my bags, and came to Mozambique. Was it worth it? You'll find out. So let's get real about the journey, the cultural shock, the good, the bad, and everything in between, right? Let's get started. Hello, Samrani, or live. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're gonna be talking about something. Please like, subscribe, follow, and turn on your post notifications, and let's get to it. It's really hard adjusting to life in Mozambique for me at first, especially academically. The school environment for me, it was really very hard. I've been here for 3 years, and it was really very hard. I'm not gonna lie. Especially when I first came into the school, my expectations versus the reality, uh, the ambient, the surroundings. It was really very toxic for me. It was a bit quiet. It was a bit different from what I was used to in SA, right? It was also really really hard adjusting to the language, the culture, and cultural differences I've noticed is um here, right, greeting is not that important. Greeting isn't that important. But in essay, dear, in essay, if you're from South Africa, you know what I'm speaking about. In essay, you greet by force. By force, you greet. And if you don't greet, no one will answer you. No one will even tend to you. They don't even look at you if you don't greet in essay. It's the most about essay. I'd say I miss everything about essay from my family, my cultural life, my religion, like the family I made there, like right, my friends, my surroundings. I miss everything over there. The environment, everything was so cool. There's so much of a vibe. That's where I grew up, and that was I was used to. So coming here was a very shock. It was a big thing to me, and now I had to accept the roots of my parents. While my roots were very much different from what we lived, and I'd say I got into a new reality. Like reality slammed me on the face. I'm not gonna lie, because now I had to get used to normal things that I wasn't used to before. And it was too much for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was too much for me at some point. It still is. There are some things I'm not used to doing that they are very much important to know as a female or as a girl here. That in South Africa we never used to have them, and now I have to do them. Now I have to learn them, and having a traditional mom, it's actually like a force to learn those things, right? Not in a bad way, but some things are just yeah. I was like the things are like I was like ew. Something is like wow. Something was like not for me, and I'd still say some things are not for me. Like they are not for me. I'm not gonna lie. Some things are really not for me. Okay, it's very different. It's very different. We do have those night parties. We do have those daytimes, but the lifestyle here is so different. Like everyone is just stuck to I don't know the same mentality. I'm not gonna lie, the same routines. Whereas in SA, we adapt to a lot of things. We speak up in SA, and here I don't see a lot of speaking up. Honestly, in terms of politically and economically, there's not a lot of speaking up as in South Africa, and the lifestyle here is just so for me it's just too slow. I'm not gonna lie, I'm being honest here, right? The lifestyle here is so different from my lifestyle in SA, and I had to adapt and change to a person I wasn't to accommodate being here, because if I really insisted on being a different person being here, yes, I'm not gonna say standing out is not nice, but sometimes there are things you don't need to stand out to. Some things you really need to fix yourself and redirect yourself to fit in. Because if you don't fit in and you're thinking, oh, I'll stand up, honey, I'll stand up, not all of the time. Sometimes you have to fit in by force. Otherwise, it's try for you. How did I deal with the language barrier? Yo, language barrier. First thing first, I'm fresh from SA. Like I used to come to Mozambique, right? On our school holidays, I used to come to visit my grandparents, whatsoever. But to come whatsoever. with my parents to visit my grandparents. It was actually so good at the time. Language barrier. I used to learn Portuguese because I'm Tonga, right? So I used to learn Portuguese and Tonga, which you guys call Shangan. I used to learn it, right? When I came here for my holidays, my June and December holidays, I used to come. Everything was good. I used to learn and really forget when I go back because I used to spend more time in SA than in Mozambique, right? So when I had to come here, like permanently live here, right? Because you know, it was too much for me, honestly, the language barrier. But luckily, I was in a school where it was in an international school, so like we speak English and whatever communication. But at home, it was really difficult because like now I had to live with my aunts, my other siblings, and my other cousins. And language barrier was so hard, guys. The errors I used to make in Portuguese, especially Portuguese. And I'd say my Portuguese has improved a lot. I'm not gonna say I'm now, but I feel like yeah, my Portuguese has really it's really good. Like I can communicate the basic things and go a little bit beyond, but I'm not a pro. I'm not gonna say I'm a pro in terms of I don't know. I think my accent. A lot of people make fun of my accent a lot, but anyways, the language barrier was it was difficult for me, and 3 years yeah, I've learned, and I feel like I was so fast in learning because I used to type in Portuguese, text, whatever, and that's how I used to learn. And some things I would go to Google Translator. I still do go to Google Translator because some Portuguese words are too like advanced for me. It's not easy making Mozambican friends as in South Africa because most of the people when I tell them I'm from SA, I'm not saying bad things about Mozambicans, right? But a lot of people when I tell them I'm from SA, they used to make this face like I don't know, guys. Okay, yes, SA is better than Mozambique in every way possible, but there are some aspects, right? But like they used to make this face as if, oh, so you're from SA, like as if guys, it wasn't like that much of a thing because me being from Asia doesn't make me less of a human, okay? So making friends for me was very difficult at first, but then I got used to the environment. I got used to how they used to live, especially in my school. But it took time, honestly. When I was new, I was the lonely girl. I was always like this in my corner. And I'm glad I came out of that environment, but for me, it was too much because like it's an international school, right? So there are people from different countries: Malawi, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Mozambicans, Portugal. So it was like a mixture of tribes and cultures, and our ways of living were very different. And imagine a classical, because Thomas sekasi, a classical. Akere phela ekasi kunama-cheese boy nabo-kasi girl. Now I was a kasi girl. Now I wasn't a cheese girl or suburb girl. A kasi girl in an international school. Huh? Nabantwana beyimali khala kahle. Abantwana beyimali ekhala kahle. So it was like some things I was like, yeah. I used to see you guys over yeah, here I don't fit in. And I still believe that I don't fit in with some of the people like from that school because yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna say it a lot, but yeah, making friends for me was a thing. And I left my pretty friends in South Africa, people I grew up with, because some of them I did primary school with them. Then we had to switch to high school, and we're still together, and we're still friends. We're still pushing. So for me, leaving my friends behind, the people I was used to so much, and because I didn't have a lot of friends even in SA, because I was called Igwe, so most of the people who did not want to befriend me for some reason, especially in primary school, but in high school that came to an end, honey. What shocked me the most when I arrived? Oh, I'd say the aesthetics, guys. The aesthetics. Hi guys, the aesthetics. Now as a classical, I'm not used to a lot of aesthetics kangako. But the aesthetics, yeah, for me it was more of a downgrade, honestly. It was more of a downgrade. But then I got used to them, and I'm gonna say I'm not ashamed of my background and the aesthetics. I am not ashamed because I'm now used to it, and it's something I learned to embrace because this is where my parents are from. This is where they got their memories. This is where they grew up in. So I really had to take it in one way or another. I had to take it in. Okay, And when I arrived, I'd say also the transport system, the people, guys, we really normalize things that are not normal here. Like, oh, guys, there's a lot of grooming also. If you know grooming, you know what I mean. Like, too much grooming. The grooming here is insane. It is insane. How's the school life? The school life here, yo, I have a lot of things, guys. School life here, yeah, beta. Yee, school life here, la, sangano. Like, it's very slow. It's not an encouraging environment, honestly. When I first arrived, okay, it is pretty good, but you tell that it's not that as compared to SA. You know, say, Baba, if you don't submit CC, you knew I was coming for you. Corporal punishment was there, and I'd stay. It worked because we used to get the job done. But yeah, I think it's because I'm also in an international school. But it's just like you don't do your work, okay, that's it. You don't do it, then that's it. Like nothing much to it. But in SA, guys, now school life is very different. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's because I was also in a public school, but the school life in the public school was honestly greater. I'd choose it. I'd choose it, guys. It was good. It was the best, and it was up to you actually if you learn or you don't. But the school life here is a bit, I'd say, slow. I'd say the school life here is a bit slow. It's a bit not encouraging. It discouraged me a lot, honestly, when I first came here. Like, at first, the first two terms, I was still that girl, yeah, because to us it was compulsory. The assignments, the homework, it was compulsory, right? Then you also presentations, right? You used to know that if you don't do it, standard sum and research and printing out, if you don't do it, you're in for it. Like you knew, even if they said, oh, today we are going to fetch dough from the river, there, Kwapita. Those who know, they know what I'm talking about. We used to make sure, Hori, as a class, because we're like 50 something in our class, we talk in groups, Hori, we are going to meet Kapita or we're going to meet at someone's house at such a time. We meet there, we take the dough here because all you have to wait for your mother to give you what internet work, research work, son or some. When you reach home, you ask your parents for money, you go and print out. Not that you're gonna wait for 2 business days. No. Maybe if it was maybe an assignment that had a due date, but still we used to make sure that we do it as soon as possible, ASAP, and it was up to the point. We never used to have excuses like, oh, my mother didn't give me money to go to the internet cafe, or because my mother wasn't there, my father this, they did not care, Sandra Sam. You had to submit your work on time, otherwise it's shy for you. And then what's the next question? But yeah, school life Alana, yeah, it's not that motivating, honestly. And sometimes, even if it's a group thing, you used to, I like sometimes I feel demotivated to even do it because I
You are a son. Uh, 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 uh.
living, like I'd say the cost of living here, it's cheaper than SA. Listen, okay, I don't need people.
Okay, now hear me out and hear me out well.
Listen, the cost of living here is cheaper than SA, guys. It's cheaper. SA, to me, because I still ordered some things from SA to bring here most of the times, especially clothes and food stuff. Guys, the cost of living is very much cheaper here, guys. It is so cheap. An egg in SA is now 500 or 600. You know how much 500 600 is here? And we buy actually 2 eggs with that money. So cost of living here is very much cheaper. It is cheaper in terms of transportation, food cost, accommodation, cost of living is cheaper. Finish and klar. Put it away. Whoever has an argument, put it down on the comment. We will argue. If it's to argue in the comment section, we
Whoa, brother. Whoa. Now, you got too much dip on.
will. Cost of living in Mozambique is cheaper than SA, guys. SA, yeah, dura. Yeah, dura, like. But I choose SA any day, anyway. I feel safe here. I do. Especially in the province I'm in, it's pretty much safe. Oh, I keep myself safe. But do I feel safe? Yes, I do. Don't have a lot to say. I do feel safe. Am I slouching? I don't know. How do foreigners treat South Africans? Hey, guys, they look at us like, actually, I have a cousin, eh? I'm not gonna mention her name, but every time I mention something about South Africa, like, she does this face, like, I don't know, this face, like, oh, you think you guys are better than us, but actually, we are. At the end of the day, we are, guys. I'm also Mozambican at the end of the day, but I'm not gonna say I'm not defending my country, but both of them are my countries, defend the greater one. No way. Because what? Because I'm gonna defend the greater one. I'm not even defending, I'm stating facts. What was the question? Oh, keep on forgetting the question. Let's say foreigners, they treat them good. They treat them good, especially because they know that they are contributing to the economy of the country, so they treat foreigners good. But South African, they treat them as if you guys think you're better than us, and we are. At the end of the day, we are in a lot of terms, sectors, and angles. We are. And how do they treat South Africans? First of all, there's no special treatment for South Africans, but it's also a country that we look up to South Africa a lot here in Mozambique because almost all of the markets, the grand markets, the grand sectors, the head offices, most of them are in Maputo or South Africa, right? So Maputo is the capital city of Mozambique. So yeah, I'd say like whatever guys. But how do locals treat South Africans? They depend on South Africans a lot, but they also think like they're not all that. But at the end of the day, South Africa is all that, guys. It is. For me, it is. For me. Don't come for me. Would I plan on giving someone who's planning to move advice? Bring sunscreen. Oh, Sana. Bring sunscreen. If you want to come here, sunscreen, get your malaria shots, get your summer clothing, honey, because even winter here ain't that cold. But yeah, in Maputo, winter is very cold. It's like SA winter, but SA winter, it's 3 times colder. If you know, you know. But
It's too cold. It's extremely cold and it's wrong.
I'll say bring sunscreen, go for a malaria shots, and bring a net if you don't like covering yourself up, bring a net or you buy one here. But Mars, it's a great country, guys. If you guys are always watching, Mars is a great country. I'll show you some good places in Mars. I'll put them there so you can see who Mozambique is not as bad as they say it is, guys. It's not as bad as they say it is. But Mozambique is actually a beautiful country. And now, if I had my own money, oh, a cruiser, guys, I'll be cruising. But
Banyana, me free.
I feel like in 5 years' time or 10, I'll be back here and I'll be showing you guys who in Mozambique it ain't that bad. Yes, corruption is everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. At the end of the day, corruption ikona yonke indawo, left, right, and center. But Mozambique is actually a beautiful country. In terms, not in terms of the beaches only, but in terms of also the cuisine, the food, guys. I think I'm gonna state it. One of the countries rich, right? Because okay, fine, because of corruption, it's not rich. But Mozambique is very rich in seafood and things we found like pescatarian things, seafood, and all of the things in the sea. What to move here? Have cash, guys. I'd say bring imali, even bring it because you enjoy, guys. One thing about here, you just have to have this. Otherwise, you're good. You'll be good. Has this move changed me as a person? I'd say I found the most strongest version of myself. I found the most strongest version of myself being here. I challenged myself. I learned. Oh, guys, I learned. Who would say that I'd be actually willing to learn how to bake something of sorts? But I learned a lot of things being here. And how has this changed me as a person? Oh, at first when I was here, I was depressed. I'm not gonna lie. The first day of being here, I was depressed which is why even academically or like in my social school life, I wasn't like presently there. People who knew me the first day I came here, they know that first year for me wasn't as easy. It wasn't, guys. It changed me a lot as a person. I was so depressed because the routine was so like flipping boring, bro. Like it was school, home,
So we don't have the capacity.
and no social life whatsoever. But you know, in SA school was fun, guys. You'd go to school and forget about all your problems. But when I was in school, yo, it's like my problem used to come in my head. So like how has being here changed me as a person? I discovered I became more ambitious about life. I saw the real vision of life. I also saw like a lot of things, guys, like the truth to them. Because in SA, I was just being a kid. I was just being like living fun. But here, when I arrived here, I just knew that now it's time for me to stand up for myself, to look out for myself, to pat myself on the back. Because a lot of things changed when we came here, and due to like the specific reason that we had to shift here, it meant me as the firstborn like being isolated to focus on my like things, you know. So it really changed me as a person. I'd say it really changed me as a person, but I'm still that loving, fun person you'd wanna be around. If you know, you know. But yeah, it really changed me being here. Like it forced me to step out of my comfort zone. Like it forced me being here forced me. Like it made sure that I broke, I crack, but then I had to glue myself back together. I had to stand tall, you know. And here I am, made it out, right? But yeah, it made me so much of an ambitious person, especially the surrounding I was in, guys. Maybe I'm a rich kid, yeah, but I was surrounded by a rich kid, and I can't now, as I said, I was just from Josie, Ekasi, so yeah, well, a white vid. So I was like, for me it was, but I never tried to be like someone who I wasn't. No, I never tried to be someone who I wasn't just to fit in or to me. I just showed people who they nah, guys. I'm not. I don't have it all like you guys do, but I do have my best that my mom provides for me, and I'm happy with it. And if you ever thought about moving to another country, please comment down below. And if you've made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And please, guys, send it to your family members, send it to your friends, your cousins. Please, guys, we have more bangers coming. And thank you so much. Please, guys, like, subscribe, and share. Yapa.